So we're ready to go right now, right? We're good.
We are ready.
All right. It does raise the question of what to do tonight. I feel like last time is going to be like really hard to follow. We got a lot done. Yeah. We exercised the new model abstraction to add new entities really easily. We got some trees going on right now. I drive the tank around. We also got like invisibility. We can hide from the turret, and then now we can be exposed. We have a whole hiding system going on right now.
I love it. Yeah, tall grass.
Now, one of the things that we sort of added the trees for was to gather more, like to have another resource thing. So we could do resource management.
The other thing we added at the very last minute was we made the builder a target.
We did make the builder a target. So there's now he gets shot at. Oh, and he can die. I forgot about that. Oh.
Wow. Also, did you notice that it aimed where he was going to go?
Did it?
I think you just picked a very unlucky shot where he turned right back around and in fact like walked into the bullet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So because the turret's slow, right?
Yeah, you should be able to outrun the bullet. Though I like that it like wings went back at you in the process.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is awesome. Man, so much going on right now.
Yeah,
I can make a turret here. Bam! Oh, they killed my builder though.
It'd be really fun to. I think we could do more with that builder, and especially there's that issue where like it's not actually taking a core with it as it goes. Like we have some sort of missing abstraction over what is and isn't inventory. We can also fix our Z rendering.
Yep. What appeals to you right now? What calls to you?
I think it'd be nice to. I'm kind of into the inventory management. Like, get the builder, pick up trees, build walls with trees. There's a whole bunch of UI that goes with that too.
There is a ton of that. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think here.
Might be nice to have like a reticle snap to the cursor for the tree you're hovering on, which is a pretty easy little rectangle to draw.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And for the turret placement too. That actually be really cool to have a little placement rectangle.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's maybe do the graphical stuff first. Does that feel okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now we shoved a lot of our UI stuff into a
we got two systems now.
UI system. Yeah, we have like two systems in there, right? I guess this is kind of HUD. It's as HUD as the crosshair is, which is funny because the crosshair doesn't have a system, right? I think the crosshair is just in the wrong window. I think the game renders the crosshair.
Oh, maybe this is the place to change it then. Crosshair. It does. Let's make a crosshair system that is the dot always, and then is a box when you're in like placement mode or builder mode or something.
Yes, I like it. It's kind of not HUD, but it is HUD. I'm gonna call it HUD.
I think it's HUD. I know what you're saying.
Okay. And let's do the full Monty here.
And then I started writing some JavaScript at work for the first time today, and I was like, my imports don't resort themselves. Like, this project has spoiled me.
What is interesting is that we don't reflect the directory hierarchy in the system object. I don't really care that much. But isn't this supposed to sort itself? Oh, it doesn't sort the exports.
Imports only, yeah.
Yeah, okay. No big deal. All right.
Yeah, I think you had that sorted by name instead of by directory.
Oh yes, and then we don't have an export on the crosshair, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna just get rid of everything else. Boy, this is so much easier to type when I'm not going through the game capture.
maybe we should alternate like driver streamer for whoever's typing uses the computer in tuples, and whoever's not driving streams. That might be the best experience for everyone.
Yeah, that's true. Just because like what I had set up is like right before this, both Dom and I had like set up both of our streaming setups because we now both have capture cards, and the $1,000+ Windows PCs that they attach to, and we're both raring to go with the stream. And then I was actually somewhat relieved that Dom was like, "No, I want to try out the capture card that I just got," because both like I have like a really weird kind of like wireless trackpad plus keyboard thing that I use to control the Windows PC in that setup, and it was like a little jank. And then I had to like control the Mac through the laggy capture. It was just kind of like it was a little whack.
That's a little whack.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think you're right about we can alternate streaming. I think the only disadvantage is if we feel like there's tuple lag. I think that was like why we wanted the driver to stream in the first place, but it feels like it's been okay recently.
I think so. I partially wired, probably more hardware components doing their jobs. I think tuple's been good. Maybe tuple fixed their shit. I noticed they had a big update recently.
Yeah. So I think they emailed about it, right? It's like
they sent me an email and I was like, oh wow, you knew it was bad.
Yeah. They didn't say anything about performance though, weirdly.
You never want to. They don't want to be like, sorry it was slow. Because we all know.
Yeah. So here's a small architectural concern, which is maybe not that big of a concern.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the crosshair works really well because it just like renders directly to the renderer.
Mm-hmm.
If we make it a system, we could just continue rendering to the renderer, but the pattern that we have set up right now is that the game pulls renderables out of systems and then renders it itself.
I see.
Doesn't have to be that way. But what
we could potentially have a z-index issue with the cursor itself
if we treat it as an entity.
How are we doing our other HUD systems?
That is a great question. Oh, they are just here. So they are other systems.
Yeah, so
we're probably just rendering directly. We have precedent. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, let's just continue with that. In fact, I'm just going to do that here. Systems.crosshair. This. Maybe I should draw under the HUD, right? Oh, what did I just do? I have these like page up and page down buttons that I actually think are kind of useless on this keyboard, but
oh man, yeah. I like having those on a FN shortcuts, like the laptop keyboards, because then you like really you only do it on purpose.
Yeah, sadly, this is like a bank of keys like directly above my arrow keys, with no gap or anything like that. I might actually just disable them. I have like a programmable keyboard and everything, so I could just like disable it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Fancy.
By the way, I looked up your keyboard, and it's pretty rad. Like
it's nice.
Set of features for that, and it's cheap. It's like $80.
It wasn't that bad. Yeah. I like this keyboard a lot.
Okay.
It's small issues aside, it's been wonderful.
Yeah, totally. So the crosshair should now be dead, and export update const update equals takes a game, returns void.
Boom. Boom.
Okay.
So wait, did that just work? Oh, we gotta delete it. No, you did delete it.
We gotta delete. I did delete it. It's not working.
Why is that?
Is it?
I would say give it a restart and a refresh, just because parcel.
Yep. Yeah, I'm surprised how poorly it deals with this.
You know, I have the same experience with like the Metro server for React Native. I think this is like a JavaScript watcher or something issue.
It could just be a hard problem, like because there's the dist or out folder, right? It doesn't really know how to delete stuff.
Right.
But,
yeah, like when something goes away, how?
Yeah, I think this is just a bug.
Great. Crosshair from Crosshair.
Oh, it's still compiling.
Mm.
That is a slow compile, is it not?
You cleaned it.
I did. Yeah, it's true. 42 seconds is pretty slow. I think that's tuple. Yeah, still no crosshair. Let's see if there's anything in the console to tell us what's going on. No bugs there. Let's just do the brute force crash my computer console. I'll do this.
Nice.
And we do break there. It looks like. Not sure how much is visible on screen.
Some. Oh, better. Oh my lord, that's hilarious.
What's that?
Oh, just that the game isn't re-rendering, so you've squished it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Okay, so we are getting in there, right? That's all I wanted to confirm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, unfortunately, I bet you can't step through mouse pause right now because your mouse probably isn't on the screen in debug space.
That is probably correct.
It's my guess.
Yeah.
At least before we frustratedly stare at that too many times.
Yeah. Well, let me just try.
Yeah.
Right. How do I step with this thing?
It's
this one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Step over. Mouse pause is undefined, I believe. Null. Okay.
No.
Alas.
Indeed.
Well, you know, I don't think this is that bad. What we can do is just like debugger once we get in there, right?
Yep.
Okay, there it is.
Cool.
Over. Top left is a float 32 array. That is 0, -198. I think that's world space coordinates. The player should be right around the origin, right? Like this whole playfield is like centered around the origin. So that is reasonable given the direction that the turret is pointing, right?
Yep. Yeah, over here somewhere.
And then what is D? D is just
D is the square. It actually is 6
square. Yeah. This should work. is the conclusion that I have arrived at, and that the computer is wrong.
So I have a thought. Can you go back to game.ts?
Yeah, I have a theory as well. Let's go back there.
Great. So we're in a transform here.
Yep.
And this mouse, our get pause for this was like rendered previously before this transform.
Yep.
Did we have that wrong? Because it's actually
it should. Yep. That is the exact thought that I had as well.
Great. We could just move it.
Yep. And maybe before debug draw, I don't really care. That should do it though. And then let's go ahead and. Oh god. How do I reload? How do I reload? How do I?
You might have to hit play.
Reloading?
You gotta hit play.
Play, and then the problem is it's going to hit that every single time.
Oh, just
navigate around the interface here. Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, you haven't saved these files.
Save the game. Gosh. There we go. We're back in business. We have a crosshair system. Now we want to have a little, like, I don't know what you would call it, but basically a little rectangle. Okay. So what we want to do is have a rectangle has a position and dimensions, right? Dimensions are tile size. And position is going to be whatever world space position the mouse is in, which is this. Sort of.
But then, I was going to say clamp to the nearest tile boundary.
Okay, so that's that. And so what we're really talking about is this is the crosshair.
Oh, wait. Jeff, hang on. Did we get this wrong because we did that view to world space transition? If we just got mouse pause and rendered this with the other systems, would it have been correct?
The answer is yes.
Okay, because we've transformed, then we've transformed. Yeah.
Yeah. We're sort of, well, I mean, we've successfully made math that can complete the round trip, which is just reassuring.
It's good. It's great. It works.
Yeah.
As I say, do you want to just undo that?
Well, maybe,
because I do think of the mouse is kind of, I think of it as camera space, not world space, and it can never leave view space, right?
Yes. Although I do think that the thing we're about to add should be in world space. Does that make sense? Okay,
great. Yeah. Yeah, because it's going to be looking at our tiles specifically. I'm into that.
Yeah. What's the how would you name that? And then I will say I will put this to do. This could probably be moved to HUD rendering, which uses view space. Yeah.
Let's see. So
this thing is called like the tile selector. I don't know, like tile frame.
Yeah. I like selector versus
tile indicator.
Crosshair indicator. Yeah.
All right. The tile northwest is is it it's not the modulo.
You could do the current tile pause, the current x minus x modulo tile size to like shove it into the top left, right?
Yeah. And what is modulo and float? What is it? What is, like, if I do 2.5 mod 2? Oh, that's perfect. And then what about negatives? This is where I get screwed, right? We do negative 2.5 mod 2. We want negative 0.5. Good. Perfect. This is exactly what we want, I think.
Well, that's sick. Huh.
Yeah. Sometimes it goes the other way. Sometimes it's positive 0.5.
Which is what I would have expected. Yeah.
That is the mathematical modulus. So if you do like discrete math and you do like x is congruent to 5 mod 7, you know that whole razzmatazz.
Oh man, I just did something. I was like playing with Game Maker Studio.
Yeah.
And their modulo function just doesn't. It just like if you go negative, it just gives you 0. It just always gives you 0 no matter what. They just gave up. They don't wrap that into anything. They're just like, oh, if it's less than 0, yeah, sorry. Like,
yeah. So I actually think that if you're trying to solve problems of a like computer sciencey nature, the default modulus that most runtimes and probably the CPU gives you is wrong. Like because like you want modulus when you're trying to solve like CS type problems to simulate a cycle.
Mhm.
Like it's almost as if the number line is like this infinitely cyclical thing of like if your range is 0 to 5, you just want that to go from 0 to 5, like, or 1 to 5 constantly, right? Or 0 to 4 rather. But for our purposes, actually, I think this is wrong, right? Because we want to subtract the modulo value.
Can you do something stupid for me?
Yeah.
What would happen if you put parentheses around the negative 2.5?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Is this like an ordering problem?
Okay, great. So JavaScript has a JavaScript problem.
Yeah, because we actually want to like
subtract.
We want
the delta.
We want it to be -3. We want it to be -3, right? If we're like at -2.5, we want the northwest of that, which should be to the left of that, right? Yep. So that's fine. What we can do, I forget what this is, but I think basically what we can say, TS, I'm going to throw this in here, and I'm going to have a big question mark on whether it actually works or not, but export const math mod a number div number. And then it's like if a less than 0,
you just return the absolute value of the result of mod, right? Math.abs.
Yeah, you're right, because this is never what we return is always going to be positive, right?
Yeah, because I agree. Like I want a number between 0 and div every time. You got the wrong function syntax.
Yeah, I did the whole. This is gonna, like, for years after we ship this game, if it even ever happens, like, to do. Whoa, that's too much value add. I honestly think that this whole JS doc thing, like, I honestly, like 9 times out of 10, it's like I don't care.
Yep, I never.
To do, verify that this is actually correct.
And do you want mod, not div? You dived.
Good call.
Yeah, more likely to be correct now.
So we want vec2 dot so math mod of.
Is this maybe this is a vec2 dot
file size?
I would say this is a vec2 dot subtractive. Oh, of this. Yeah. Yep, that looks right.
Oh, right, and I see what you're getting at. This should be composed inside of a vec2 dot sub.
Yep.
Of vec2. I mean, we can probably reuse top left, right? Unless that makes you uncomfortable, I'm happy to create.
No, I think that's super safe.
Oh, so basically, we just don't need to assign it, right? And then the top left of the tile indicator is this, and now we're just going to render this sucker. The fill style is transparent. Stroke style, I don't really know right now. And the dimensions are going to be
there,
poop.
Oh, math mod's not imported.
Of course. I would have thought this would just like blow up a lot more catastrophically.
Yeah. That's weird. I guess the function just gives up. Hey, cool.
That is not snapping the way that we want, right?
No, it's not.
Interesting.
We've got a point. We're subtracting the diff from the tile size. So if it's at 33, we do 33 mod tile size and subtract 1 to bring it to 32. It feels like it should be right.
Let's try all the positives. All the positives work. See? As soon as we cross the origin, now we're in trouble. Let me just experimentally.
Because we've got, yeah. Because if it's negative 33 and we get negative... Oh, because if it's negative 33, you actually return 1. And then we subtract 1 from negative 33, which takes us to the negative 34.
Okay, so we're off by 1 here. Do you see that?
So I guess if it's negative, we actually need to add a tile size. Oh shit, but to which dimension? Ugh.
Yeah, see, it looks correct here because the yellow box, the crosshair should always be pretty much inside the yellow box, right?
Yep.
Or at least the center, or it's the upper left of the crosshair. But we're off by 1 here on both dimensions. We're off by 1 on both dimensions. Okay. In this quadrant, we are. In this quadrant, where y and x are both negative, here only x is negative, and we're off by 1. But everywhere here, where this is both positive, this is quadrant 1 in our weird inverted space. Everything looks good. But now we kind of mess up over here.
So, is the quadrant where y is negative and x is positive off by 1? So top right quadrant?
Yeah, we're off by 1 on the y-axis.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah, great. Okay, well that actually seems, that's like a nice, it's just a function of the sign of x and y to do some math.
Yeah, so what is wrong with what we did before, right?
Well, so let's go back to like a nice like off by 1, like we're on pixel 33. So we do 33 mod 32 and get 1.
Yep. And
then we say negative 33 minus 1 is negative 34, when in fact we're trying to get to 32.
Well, I think if it's negative, right? If it's negative 33, we actually want to go to negative 64.
Oh yeah, I was explaining why the math.abs was not the correct behavior either.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. You were explaining the incorrect behavior. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do we just need to do an if here?
It's not part of math mod, right? Or are you?
It's not part of math mod. I agree with you.
It could be. No, we don't want to do that. That'll be strange. Yeah. Okay. So math mod is like gone.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think it's gone. To do verify this is actually correct. Done. Okay. So we could do the really greater than or equal to 0. It's
right, greater than equal top left mod tile size. So it's always top left mod tile size, but if it's less than 0, you also subtract tile size.
Tile size, the absolute value of top left minus. Would it be this?
Tile size.
Let's take that 33, negative 33 example. If you put in negative 33, you want negative 64. By the way, we're saying 32 is their tile size, but our tile size is actually 24. But let's stick with 32.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. So So we really want to subtract. We want to subtract 31, right?
Oh, we want tile size. We want to subtract the tile size minus the mod. Minus the math mod.
The absolute, yeah, so that's this.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
God, that's horrible. But it makes sense. This operation, I feel like we have written.
We've taken tile coordinates.
So we could do tile chords and then tile to world. That's another way to do it. Like, do you want to try that? That's probably makes a little bit more sense than whatever the hell this is doing, right?
If we already have a setup for that, let's try it.
Tile chords of top left. And then tile to world of this. And that's basically what it's going to be, right? And let's see what happens. Oh my God. It is still off. No, that's correct.
It seems like you can move a little outside of it for some reason.
Yeah, I have felt that way about the builder as well.
Are we possibly off by half a tile when we do this? Oh, wait, check it out. You're not even drawing. You're not drawing on the center of things. Okay.
Okay, so we need to subtract.
Oh, because our tile chords are the center of the tile.
Yes. Oh, Christ almighty. Sorry for the maledictions or whatever. I'm
very, very blasphemous of you.
Yeah. Because tile chords, we're doing center of the tile, right? All right, now this looks pretty solid. Would you agree?
I would, yeah. I'm trying to see the little edges, and the little edges look. Oh yeah, that's very smooth. Okay, great. And it lines up on all of our objects, which I think is most important. So there.
I think the builder has a little bit of a weird. The builder has some weirdness to him. I think the builder might be suffering from the same problem, but where the builder might be off by half. So we do this. Yeah. Right.
Okay. Cool. Good to know.
Okay. We'll file that as a GitHub issue if we remember. Okay. Well, why don't I do it right now? Just because. Well, I'm actually in a private browsing window. I don't know why I do this, but whatever. I'm not going to bother with it now.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. It's all.
It'll come up again.
Point being, we have succeeded in doing what we came to do. Right.
Nice. That looks great.
At what point can I start shooting? Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. that's the problem with our. We had two turrets. One could shoot from around the wall. The other couldn't shoot the other because of the way we do rotate to rectangle collision.
Oh no! Fuck. Okay.
This game is just an accumulation of small, tiny bugs, which is actually real life.
I was going to say, isn't that every piece of software in game? Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's too true. I'm going to add a little bit of transparency here. What is yellow? Is it maximum green, maximum red?
Yes. Yeah.
Can I say that the fact that this is 0 to 255 and that this is 0 to 1, I think I've already said this. I'm just preaching to the choir.
It happens every time we use RGBA. It's no less nonsense now than it is.
I'm sorry.
The last 20 times. No, I do it too.
I only have like, I have no wit. I just have things I repeat.
You have no idea how many times I've like started to write a color in RGBA and done like 1.0, 1.0, 1.0, like 0.5 and been like, wait a minute, this isn't transparent white.
Oh man. Okay, so now we want to do. We have a couple different inventory management things. We could harvest trees, or we could make it so that the builder has the pickup and drops.
I like the builder has the pickup.
Okay.
Especially now that the builder can die, I'm very excited to see it just litter pickups around the world.
Okay.
This might be very easy actually, so we'll do both.
Mm-hmm. We now have 3 different objects that carry a pickup in some form. We have the player.
Mm-hmm.
We have turrets.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the builder.
Yep. And they all we have droppables for this reason.
Oh, look at the turret, right?
Yeah.
We kind of want to emulate what these guys do, right?
Yep. Yeah, actually, I think this is the turret system, not the. It's actually a property of the turret entity that it has a drop.
What did we call it? Oh man, that's the turret system state. Turret index is a drop type.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So actually, what we do right now is when we send the builder out, when it reaches its destination, we like reach into the player inventory and add a core. But perhaps it's like we delete it immediately. The builder goes out with the drop type.
Yeah. Oh, and it's part of the damageable system. Oh, this is great. I will say that the way that this is being handled right now, this could never be a problem in the entire lifetime of the game. But this is a classic thing that I hear about all the time, where like you pass an object between entities, and then one of them gets deleted in an unusual way that you forget about, and then the thing that it was carrying is gone for good.
Yeah.
So eventually, I think the way to do this is to have a system that is like the system that knows about all of the stuff in the game, and it is aware of like where those. Maybe the problem's the same. I'm not sure if this architecture lends itself to solving this problem per se.
Well, you're talking about like some sort of like a global system that is like,
yeah,
like the
exactly.
the object manager, the inventory object manager, like has a track of like there's 20 cores in the world. Here's where everyone is, and like it can periodically be like, does its owner exist? And if not, I'll like place it at 0, 0 or something. I've seen games like Garbage Collect like that before. Yeah.
And at the very least, the thing that solves is that like you can at least debug it, right? Like because if you keep that state just on the entity, and then the entity object is literally deleted in the game code itself, you just have lost that forever. Whereas if it's in a system somewhere, you can say, well, it's pointing to an entity ID that's not in the entity manager anymore. So clearly this dangling pointer thing happened, right? Like we forgot to do something with it after we deleted the entity. And that is like a tiny bit better than I think the alternative, because it's at least a little bit debuggable. That all being said, that's just me wasting breath because I'm not going to write that system right now.
Not yet, but someday.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So where is the builder system? When we launch the builder, go ahead.
I was going to say that you just scrolled over the if inventory inventory has core or something. Yeah, right there.
And so what we want to do is actually, if the builder has the drop, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so this is cool. So I wonder if it's so we create builders with no drops, but if we have an entity, we subtract from the player inventory, set the builder drop, and then when the builder builds, we delete the builder drop essentially, and that's our handoff.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I think what we're talking about here is if there's a path, we build the builder here. We set its position. We register him. I don't know if you care when we register or when we don't, but we're saying if the player has inventory and it includes the core, we'll remove one of the cores, and then we'll set the builder's drop type to pickup type core, right?
Yep. Love it.
And then down here, we create. We don't worry about this anymore, right? We're going to say if the builder e.drop type, then
we should check if it's a core too, because we're about to add maybe wood or who knows what else.
Yeah. And if it's not a core, then we're in trouble, right? We have some weird undefined thing. Then we just remove it, right? E.drop type equals null. And we build the turret.
It probably needs to be undefined. Yeah.
Ugh.
I know, you hate doing that.
Can we do this? That's better.
Okay.
It's much more explicit, I think.
I'm with you.
Although it's functionally the same thing, and it's a little bit weird. It's okay. I think we actually have a linter rule that says no explicit undefined, right?
Do we? Oh, I didn't know that.
This at least prevents us from returning undefined from a function. Like if we
really
only
nice,
are allowed yeah. So because like we don't want to just like pass undefineds around as function arguments, like. And having this allows us
strong agree. It's great.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had a role for it.
All right. So what should happen now is I should lose the inventory immediately, right?
Beautiful.
And then if the builder dies, oh, dang it.
That's gonna be hard. Go to the next level's got more bullets. Yeah.
But it's hard to get inventory here. I'm just gonna like get rid of these trees. These trees are the problem. It's the trees, Dom. I'm like a fossil fuel lobbyist right now.
It is the trees' fault. I'm with you.
All right, okay, I'm gonna like send the builder way out, and he dies, and he drops it, and I pick it up.
Beautiful.
Again. And that time he made it. But if I send him way out here, oh come on, turret! You tried. That turret tried.
I have a thought, which is that you can shoot your own builder.
Oh. He runs too fast. He runs like faster than my gun.
Oh no.
Granted, the bullets are very slow, right?
These are some
really
slow bullets.
Slow. Yeah. Let me kill my own turret here. Doesn't deserve to live.
But everything's working.
This totally works. Yeah. Another validation of why we're awesome.
The system works as designed, just like all systems that always work as designed.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's that. So yeah. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, so we've got like this right click to put down a turret, but do we want to think about walls and building your own? And if so, sort of, how's our UI working for that? I was thinking that building is a mode of some sort, and you can build turrets and walls based on your inventory. There's a lot of changes to that, and it's nothing's quite as elegant as right click.
Yeah, so we're making Vim here, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Basically, we need to change. We need to change what the right click button does. Does it harvest, or does it build?
Yeah,
and what does it build, right?
And is there what is that box that we just built for? Like what makes that show up? Because it's not always around the cursor.
Yeah, it should be when you actually have an intention of doing something, right?
Yeah, because right now it's got this now it just looks like a lazy cursor.
And theoretically, what is the default mode of the builder?
Is it contextual?
Kind of like the default mode could just be that he doesn't do anything, but that would be weird. Because
well, he's a distraction.
He is a distraction. But that I almost like the idea of that being more like an Easter egg in the game than anything else, like a kind of like seldom used last ditch type thing to send your builder out as a distraction. But you still should be allowed to do it, right? Well, maybe for now, let's not worry about mechanics too much. So let's say one mode is to do nothing, but you can still send them out, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then the next mode is to harvest at the destination. Because you may want to send the builder out, but not harvest the tree because you want to use the tree as cover or something like that, right? Then another mode would be laying walls, and then another mode would be laying turrets. And if you don't have the inventory for either of those, the builder basically you can't send him out.
I think not sending the builder out for you can't do the thing is a good yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I'm kind of intrigued by the notion that you have many builders. Right now we've kind of got like a drone swarm thing going.
We do now, right?
Yeah. But it'd be interesting if I want to lay a bunch of walls at once if they went out and did a thing.
What a nice improvement over Bolo is like multiple builders, right?
Well, I mean they could be slower, or they could have to pause at the destination or something. I feel like there's ways to make even multiple not overpowered,
Yeah, but I agree with you that this is a very cool mechanic that Bolo
it's a cool idea,
right? Yeah. And it might be an upgrade kind of thing, right? You could upgrade your tank to have multiple builders.
Yeah, right. We could have builder inventory. That's a whole nother setup of you have 1 to 10 or something,
and also armored builders that can take more than one hit.
I like it. Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be really fun. We can play multiplayer.
This would be So this is an expansion of the builder system, though, right? But we need some notion of global builder state.
Oh, I was going to say I think it's not necessarily the builder system, because it could be mode could be a system. We're kind of switching a context at the game level, and it affects the
I see
the crosshair system.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's a set of keyboard things that are cool.
Builder mode.
Yeah.
Or is it more like input mode, or just it's more like it's sort of like generic input state or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's not like inventory input. Builder mode is good. What else could it be? I like builder mode because right now that's what it does. Yeah. But maybe if we have like if we were gonna have weapon switching,
it might be the same system.
I might also put it there. Yeah.
So it's almost player control, right? And really, even the player mover.
Like this is player control too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like it, at least the keyboard stuff, better here than in the
builder system.
In the builder system or builder mode. Maybe we rename this one.
Yeah. Do you hate putting it here? Because I don't hate putting it here.
No, I might change it to player.
The map is here.
I changed it to player input, but otherwise, no, I like it.
All right. Then it's happening.
And for once, we don't write a new system. It's amazing.
Rename player input. Yes.
That I did expect.
I did too. Okay, and then here, this is probably what it should have affected. Player input, and then rename symbol player input. Save everything, and let's try to start.
Sweet. I love that you've got you're like, I'm not even starting the server again until I finish renaming, because you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. You'd probably be a minor celebrity in the TypeScript scene or the web development scene for like a week if you fix this. Just so you know.
I'd have to have literally any clue of how to fix it.
Where do we want to store the state for this?
I think on the game. Or on the player. I hate adding stuff to the player because then every entity like kind of gets it.
I think this is an entity that it's not an entity. It's just on the game, right? It's just a thing that like has its own lifespan, and we need to initialize it explicitly at the game level. So for now, let's just do the game, right?
Okay.
But it's really like a component of the game. If we had such a thing.
A game entity versus yeah.
And in fact, if you listen to that ECS talk from that Blizzard dude, he definitely says that like there are singleton components that are just not necessarily part of an entity, but they're not system state. Like he was very clear about like his system class didn't know anything, didn't like define the state. And instead, it's like a component that is accessible by multiple systems, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're essentially doing the same thing here. And then, okay, so what we're going to do is just call this like player input state. How's that?
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And then, can I define a struct like this here?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. So is it like builder mode or right-click mode or something like that?
I like that.
Okay. And then where do we store the mode? Maybe in the player input system.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like move builder.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all caps? Is that the convention in TypeScript? That's what we've been doing, right? Yeah.
I don't think you have to in TypeScript, but I like it. They're constants.
We haven't been though, right? Yeah, because I feel like we did it here.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go to like render, oh, we've been doing it. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to establish it. Trying to follow convention.
They're good. I go either way. Like either the name is capitalized and the properties aren't, or the name is camel or Pascal case and the properties are capital. Because I like seeing the distinction between the name and the accessor.
Yeah. And this is right-click mode. And it is upset because I didn't initialize it, right? The player... Yep. It would be right-click mode .move.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do this? Just, is that cool with that?
No, because I think you've indexed into the enum.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally fine.
Is it? The thing you did should have worked.
Yeah. You know, like oftentimes you want like sometimes your enums should be like you want to define a sequence, and because you can't do this, the sequence in which they're defined is not a usable piece of information in your code, right? So now you have to define a separate array that defines it or something like that, which is whatever.
Yep.
Okay, so player input system. What are our keys?
Let's see. So we're on. Are those error keys or is that WASDA? That's WASDA.
That's WASDA. Yeah, I should probably. Yeah, and then the modes are like move builder mode, which is something, and then harvest mode, something, build turret mode, another thing, right?
We could also have a cycle mode forward and backward. Like we could use Q and E to switch, or is it like, are you thinking you press a button and the cursor changes and then you're in the mode for a minute?
Yeah, I think I was thinking StarCraft, right?
Okay, yeah, so it's like you hit button, then you move and you place a barracks, and then you're out of barracks mode.
Yes.
Yeah, or you hit attack or move, but like the cursor changes with the button.
Yeah, and and what's funny is it's super lethal when you maybe the way this works is that if you right click without hitting any of these keys, nothing happens.
Yep.
Does that make sense? And then you have to hit a key and then right click and then something happens and then you're out of that mode. How does that feel to you?
I like that. Yeah.
All right. In that case,
yeah, and the
this is an or null, right?
And the player movement and the left click, they keep working. We're not like taking that away. So
nope.
Yeah,
this is great. We kind of want this all left-handed, right?
Yeah, as I say, do you want to do like RFV top to bottom? So we just have like a next to the WASDA. Maybe 1, 2, 3. A lot of games make you do direction arrows and occasionally hit number row.
Okay, that makes sense to me. All right, yeah. So Mdn Key Codes. I hate how this is not ASCII, but it makes sense, right? Like,
it drives me crazy.
What is it not recommend? What is this warning? What are we reading here? Are we reading key codes?
Go to the keyboard class. What is event.which? Oh, I'm sure we're using this because we're getting it from an event. So
yeah. Well, should we be using event.code?
Oh, what is .which? Huh.
Both of these are considered deprecated.
Fuck.
In favor of key, logical key, and code for the physical placement of the key. IE doesn't support code. How old is this?
2017.
Okay.
Also, IE players just don't get our game. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So code is what Edge-based on Edge HTML and Chakra doesn't support code either. Microsoft is rolling out its Blink and VA PID. So, fuck. What is the actual answer here? Oh man.
Go back to keyboardevent.code. They always have that browser support thing at the bottom.
Yeah, good call.
Because this is nonsense. Working draft. Okay, I have thoughts, which is that they for some reason specified Azerty controls for that little moving thing. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay, sorry.
What is Azerty? Is that
It's Azerty on the top row. I think it's French.
Oh,
because you type more Q's.
So it's funny. I was reading the like Golang has like their nth iteration of their generics proposal, and they've finally settled on something that looks really good.
Nice. God, they've done that a lot, though.
They've done that a lot. I don't know. It's so funny. There's just like a mentality about it that they have like honed their philosophy down to like something very precise. That is always like, let's do something slightly different than what everyone wants to do, you know? And their proposal, well, they don't really know yet, but like they're sort of trying to say like func foo type T T param, or actually it's yeah, this is how you define functions in Go.
God, why?
And then like air foobar, right? That's how you do it. And so they were like parentheses, right? Which is hilarious. And
what?
And like there's a lot. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No. Can you explain? Sorry, how is that their generic syntax?
Right, because everybody else would say do this, right?
Yeah.
And and the newest proposal is this. Right. So the problem with the angle brackets is that you can get into situations where you don't know how to disambiguate in the parser between this expression
Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh.
Right, like x, y equals this. So like you can get into situations where you don't know how to disambiguate between those two things. And the only way that you can get around that is either you have unbounded parse look ahead, which a lot of parsers do, but they can get you into trouble and they're slow. And it's hard to write tooling that has to deal with that. So their solution was to to use parentheses A and then make also everybody write the word type in there. So basically the way that you would do this, if you wanted to do like foo, if you wanted to do the equivalent of this, you'd have to actually do like foo, type D1, type D2. And I don't know, like I actually kind of like the parentheses from a certain perspective because it makes it seem like the type is itself a function. Like this is a function that returns a type, right?
Right. Yeah, you have to apply it, which is I get it.
It's not a runtime application though, right? It is a yeah. So the metaphor breaks down. Actually, though, OCaml I believe, does the generics with parentheses too. So there's a little bit of like a tiny bit of precedence there. But I found it hilarious that like their evolution from the parentheses one was to go to like into square brackets. It's just like let's just obliquely move around the fact that everybody in the world just wants you to do this, right?
Yeah, it's such a. Having briefly written one parser once, I see why that's a hard problem. I'm surprised that any of our things can do that, but I guess infinite look ahead is the solution. Wow. All right. The problem with Go's proposals is they're always like extremely technically correct about why they're doing it. And every time I read, I'm just like, yes, I understand, and I'm just like, I still don't want to use this.
Right. Isn't that weird? Like they've like, and it's just basically about priorities, right? Like, what problem do you emphasize? And the Go people would just basically say your aesthetics aren't that important, and there is part of me that's like, you're right, my aesthetics aren't that important, right?
They're right, but they're very wrong.
Yeah. But they have fast tooling, right? So
it's true. Yeah, it works.
So that was a nice little sidebar into
how many of those? Oh, key codes.
Yeah, into key code. Yeah. All right. So, do we know what we actually want to use here? Let's just keep using which. Screw it.
Don't change it. But what is which, and how do we find out what it is?
Yeah, that's all I care about, right? Is there not like a table here? Oh, there is. Oh, thank Christ. Is it digit 1? This is what we want, right?
Yes.
In the key map, it is 49, 50, and 51.
Love it. I do like that if we switch to keyboard event.code, we get to use the word digit 1. That'll be really nice someday.
Oh, yeah. This is great.
That's actually
this is
cool.
way better. Yeah, this is way better. This kind of shit, ridiculous. Okay. All right. No. Does this deserve to be an actual enum, or can we just make it null? What do you think? Maybe none? Is that better?
I like none. Yeah.
Okay. I think I agree with you. If we can avoid nulls, maybe that's a win, right?
Especially when you've already got an enum, you might as well have an enum for off.
Yeah. You make too much sense, Dom.
I try.
Okay.
Eminently reasonable.
Is it if it's down, then we switch modes? So you could theoretically just hold down the key, which I like, right?
Oh yeah, if you want to click and drag to wall or collect or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So if game.keyboard.down keys.has key map of harvest mode game dot right click player input state. Already over engineered this. It's amazing. Harvest else if we'll keep going, right?
Yep. Now if holding down works, we've sort of we're preferencing the order in which you can hold these down. Like if I'm holding down 1 and then I touch 2 immediately takes over.
That is okay in my book.
Yeah.
What's after harvest mode? Is it build? Oh, it's move. I guess the first one was move, right?
First one is move, yeah. Though I think move should be last. I think it's harvest and build, and move is the weird one.
All right, let's move it around.
Shit, right, because we actually have to use those codes. Whoops.
Oh, what did I do? Crap.
You got to get this, to use not Alfred. Yeah, Alfred.
Uh-huh.
There's a copy buffer, so you can just copy all three and then paste the three back in a different order.
Oh, crap. Yes. Amazing. Or I could just like use VI mode. I've been tempted by this carpal tunnel mouse business to like learn VI really well again. And then, I don't know. It'll probably get out of my system after a couple weeks. So.
Did you get an ergonomic mouse? Did I already recommend one to you?
Well, I'm a big fan of the Evoluent vertical mouse. I don't know if you know that particular brand.
As I say, I've got the Anker vertical here, so you've already got it.
I bought the Anker vertical because my Evoluent started double clicking on the left click. Yeah, it was bad. But so I got the Anker one. It's like $20. It's really cheap, right?
It's too light. It needs to have like a weight in the bottom or something.
I found, I think the way that I was using it, that I couldn't help when I wanted to move it left, I would move it diagonally. Whoa. Does that make sense? Like I would just like, I think I was trained by my other mouse to move a certain way.
Huh.
And I think the angle of the grip, if I just like pull my wrist inwards, I want the mouse to move directly left. But if you do that on the Anker mouse, you move it kind of like radially in a counterclockwise fashion.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Huh. And that drove me insane because I was used to the mouse. So I returned it. That's the story of my mouse purchases. The end.
It's okay. We're going to become an ergonomic desk equipment review stream soon too.
Yes. Okay. This is it, right?
Yeah, I think so. We probably need some sort of. Oh, dude, we don't. We've already in the crosshair system. Now we can check for game mode, not none.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the builder can also clear this state. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
I feel good about that because once you do it, and it's like once the builder leaves, like once it accepts the state, it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's nice. I mean, this is an example of like how the player input system doesn't fully own the player input state. It doesn't encapsulate it fully. We're sort of deliberately rejecting object-oriented programming here, right? We don't wrap this. It's just a thing that a lot of different systems have available to it, right?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Okay. Basically a glorified global variable. I love it. It could be a problem in the future, but I mean, the nice thing is we can just do this. And then your problems with global variables go away, right?
It's so easy. I don't mind globals.
Yeah. They're much maligned, perhaps falsely.
For a game, I feel like we're in this system of like the entire thing is kind of a script, right? Like
if it's turret mode, do we render a like translucent turret?
I was just thinking that it'd be really cool to take a model and render it under the cursor in the box. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And does the box color change, or do we even draw the box, or what does the? We should draw the box. The box is fun.
I think draw the box and draw a transparent turret. Can we change render context opacity globally? Is it like turn it down, write it out, turn it back up?
Render opacity.
Sorry, there's a GL context 2D to like set opacity. At least there's a control for that. I think our renderer just doesn't have it.
Yeah, I don't think we're using GL context right now, right?
I'm sorry, Canvas 2D.
Oh. MDM. Always do MDN.
Always.
Global alpha.
Oh, so we could actually we could set the global alpha, send something to the renderer, and then set it back.
Yeah.
If we wanted to render half opaque things. So maybe, never mind, because we have models too, and we can set fill styles, perhaps.
Oh, that's a good point. Right, because the model has... Yeah, okay. I see exactly where you're going with this. I actually like this. So tile indicator, and then we're going to like switch off of the game's player input state dot right click mode, right?
Yep.
And then if it's none,
I was gonna say maybe this whole thing should be in a if right click mode not equal none block, so we don't render the rectangle either. Actually, maybe the crosshair should be it's if right click mode dot none render crosshair, else render this rectangle and the rest of this block.
You're saying that we shouldn't render the crosshair if we're in right click mode?
No, because it's like I think it makes the box feel floatier than it is.
Is it still intuitive what you're shooting at if you don't have the cursor? Because we do want to be able to shoot while we're in right click mode, right?
That's true. You're doing a lot at once, but yeah. Okay.
I see where you're going. Let's try this for now and then see if it continues to bother us.
Yeah.
Oh God, I keep doing the same thing. It's the game's player input state dot right click mode not equals none. Do all this jazz.
Boom.
This should actually be impossible, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say one case we don't have to deal with.
It's almost like throw new error unreachable. Oh, does it know? Ah, it knows. Oh, TypeScript, I love you. Oh, amazing. Harvest.
Yep, no harvest yet.
We said harvest, build turret, move builder. And I'm not sure what to render here to do.
We can render the builder. It's a model too.
Oh, you're right. It is a model. Amazing.
Everything's a model.
Actually, that's probably the easiest thing. That's the easiest possible thing to render right now, right? All right. How do we render stuff? I don't even know. God. We want to set the opacity here, right? The global opacity, right?
If we can, yeah.
Dot.
Here's the problem.
Do we want to set global opacity in our render? We have to. I think we have to. All right. I render.
Can we render out the models first? Because how do we
and not worry about their opacity? Yeah,
we have to do something to transform them for the renderer here too, as well, right? Or do we just get the model and spit it out? Oh, we can just spit it out because you do that in the map editor. Never mind.
Yeah, we can just spit it out. We'll have like custom code to do this, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Like, we basically just want to repeat. I mean, this is fine, right? How are we converting? How does the model?
That's my question, because model already contains renderables, right?
The model does not contain renderables. It contains items, and then we convert them to renderables like this.
Okay, great.
I mean, this is fine. This is totally fine. This is great.
Oh, and we have two renderables with fill styles. So I think we just might as well just use our fill styles here, because if we have to call two renderables no matter what.
Yeah, the only problem with that is that our fill styles aren't logically defined, which maybe eventually we may want to convert this into like a logical thing. Maybe our fill styles should all just be RGBA objects, because then we can copy them and then manipulate one value, and it's easy, right? Because like we still want to use the default stuff.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm into global alpha too, if that feels easier and cleaner here.
I think we just hack it in there, and then we'll worry about it later. Cool. I think eventually we should move away from this type of thing. I think it just makes sense. There's no way to reason about this string in code.
Yep. Yeah. So even just an array would be better.
Models dot turret. Is that what we did? World transform is something, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then dot for each renderable, and then we do game dot render dot render the renderable, right? And then this, let's just fill it in for.
Cool.
And then this needs to get imported. Models we don't have, so I think it is import. All right, so what is this world transform? It is the tile position of the cursor, right? It is this. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, is this thing. Cursor is tile world core world pos.
All right, because we're handling this as the center of the model, yeah.
And then this world transform is a transform. So this is actually a mat2d dot translate of a mat2d dot create. Is there a way that I can translate? Can I do from translation? Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Where was I? Player input system, or yeah.
Crosshair system.
Oh yes, nice. From translation.
Boom.
Okay, so that should be it, and I believe it's number 2.
That's pretty cool.
Sweet. Although we should probably change it to the player color.
I like that. I like that it kind of looks different as it is.
Something to think about. Should you be able to hit this button if you have no inventory for it?
No. Or it should show up, and then when you try to right click, it says you must build additional pylons.
Or yeah, or it has a little red X or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. And now if I right click, oh, you can still do it. Oh, we didn't unset the mode. We need to do that next.
Correct.
Yep. Okay, let's do the builder move as well, though, right? It's basically going to be the same business here. Only this is a builder.
Boom. And I guess that's weird, is that it won't always go to the exact dot.
Yeah, we need the GitHub issue there. It should, right?
It should. I like that too, because once we fix that, it'll actually be very clear. You won't be placing
the exact same problem, maybe just on the y-axis. Let's see. It's like I'm at the bottom of the.
I think you're managing to cross the half tile threshold, right? So it's picking the next one in either direction.
Do it over. It's a hard time making it. Yeah. Why is it so much harder to do on the x-axis?
Because Because the pointer is actually the left edge of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the same issue here, right? Only on the right, only on the x-axis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stuff to think about, right?
Yeah.
Like if we made the crosshair, the crosshair should be centered on the pointer though, right? It should be like the very center. I'm not sure if I understand.
It's true, which it's not. Is it? It is. No, wait, we give it as top left, right? We don't subtract 3 from it, and we give it a box of 6. Wait, scroll up to the crosshair. I think we're off by half the width of it, aren't we?
The crosshair, we might be. I can't really tell.
Yeah.
Okay. At any rate, this is good. We have an opacity problem, but let's just like literally like abuse things. Oh, we can't even get the context. We can't get the context. It's it's private.
You make public.
I'd rather just do this.
Do it.
Set global opacity. Set float.
Yep.
Alpha value. Yeah. Okay. Alpha. It's a number.
Put it up there with like set transform. Yeah.
Alpha.
Nice.
I just did like the most roundabout way of updating that. All right.
Cool.
And now we can do g.renderer.set global opacity 0.7-ish.
Sure.
And then we restore that.
That's cool.
And
that's cool.
You can kind of barely tell.
Yeah. I mean, make it 0.5. Give it a little more gas.
Yeah, that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And when this is 3D, it'll look even better.
Yep. It's going to happen.
We have like 2 dramatic changes that will happen. One is the 3D change, one is the multiplayer change. And they'll probably require a complete rethinking of our entire architecture.
I feel like we're pretty close to getting there too.
Yeah. So here's an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get off of this mode? Is it just one? Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, I see. Cool.
Well, one is harvest, which is, I think it's actually if you hit it again.
So maybe it shouldn't be hold down. Is that the wrong? Is it key up? That should do this. Well,
that won't change because you're going into the mode, so you need to go out of the mode too. It's like if it's up and you're in the same mode. Oh wait, yeah, maybe it is up. Yeah, so it's up, and then we can always say right-click mode is either if it's the current mode, none.
Yeah, I'm okay forcing the player to hit the button a bunch of times. The hold down thing is a nice benefit, but
that would have been cool.
The other thing we could do is you have to hold it down. And if it's not held down, if it's not held down, then it's cleared.
Ooh, people are gonna have to have some nimble fingers.
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Like a key cord between mouse and there's like option click, all those things, right? That's sort of the same idea, but
yeah, let's start with that because that's nice because it'll be really easy to get out of it until we sort of know what we want.
You're saying this basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And then now the thing that we need to actually update now is the builder, right? Because it's not just that the builder is mouse up and mouse position, it's also that the builder is the player input mode is in like some builder mode, right?
Yeah, and this is interesting because it's
none, right?
Yeah, and the whether or not we go out to take a core depends on the mode.
Yes.
I was going to say maybe right-click mode includes, I guess, everything that's not known involves the builder. Never mind.
Oh, I mean, I'm happy with that as well. You want to be super...
No, I think that's good, because once we do harvest, this whole thing, that is totally correct.
Okay, so now the builder doesn't go out, which is great. And if I hold down number 3, he'll go out. And if I let go, it does nothing. This is actually kind of viable. I don't know. I don't hate it.
Cool. I look forward to feeling that out. That's nice.
Yeah. And
yeah. Now, if you pick up a core and do 3, you'll still build turret. Yeah. That we haven't.
Yeah, because we haven't updated this logic here, right? So, and yeah, the whole system needs to be updated, right? Because the builder state needs to know what it's doing when it gets to the end.
That's right. Though it could be, I mean, let's see, if we're building, we're holding a core. If we're building walls, we're holding wood. And if we're harvesting, yeah, we're going out without anything, and it's hard to, we have to differentiate that from move. If you move to a tree versus harvest from a tree. So yeah, that's complicated.
Yeah. It's almost as if maybe this should be more complicated. Right? We should take all this stuff as arguments, right? Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then the builder could set its own position and its own drop type in that line. And then it also has it has a mode. Like the builder has a mode.
Well, and actually we should short circuit earlier too. Like if there's no core, we don't need to pathfind. We don't even want to make. So
agreed. Okay, so first of all, let's just do our switch here, right?
Yep.
This is awesome, by the way. Let's not. We have to like unpack a lot of stuff, but I'm really enjoying this right now.
The part where none is already excluded from your.
No, I'm not. This isn't TypeScript porn right now, but I just think that this whole like construction here is really fun.
Yeah, I like the way this is coming out a lot.
Yeah. And we're only ever going to pathfind. We do want a short circuit, is what you were saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we do that? Does this need to be a different function? Or we could just go to like. Is there a go to in JavaScript?
God, is there? I really hope not. Mdn go to.
No, this is totally different. You can break to labels, which is great. I love that.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, see that?
Holy shit.
I think I used it in... I think it exists in this code base somewhere. No. It did at one point, because I had 2 nested loops and I wanted to go to the next outer one. If that makes sense.
I had no clue. That's so neat.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not awesome when you have to do it, but I also don't hate it.
I remember having a lot of fun with GoTo in very, very basic programming class. So
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, it's still useful in like C because like you want to like have a common error handling state. It's a little bit like a finally block. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And have you done the Ruby version of this, which is try and throw?
Can you throw?
Begin. It's throw and catch, right? It's a catch in Ruby.
Oh, but it's begin, catch, and you could have finally block.
Potentially, it's different than rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like this sort of. It's confusing in Ruby because like JavaScript's throw in Ruby is raise,
mm-hmm.
and then like go to, if it existed, is kind of Ruby's throw.
Oh, I haven't really used that much. Yeah.
It's the same type of thing. Like you want to jump out of 2 blocks. So yeah. All right.
Cool.
Well.
So we've got. I think the short circuit is maybe just a separate thing. Like we have a couple cases where we can choose to fail early. You're about to make the constructor more complicated to like keep track of what was going on, and maybe we should start there.
Yeah. For now, let's not worry about the short circuit. I think that's a refactor, right?
Yeah, and it's like it could be a function that is can right click or something, or
and what we want to do
like an inventory check.
We just want to build a different builder, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like a let builder.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then it'll be like builder equals make, and then it'll be like builder mode dot harvest.
Hmm.
I mean, that doesn't exist yet, but we can make it, right? All right, where's the builder?
Any reason not to just use the right click mode, you know?
We can reuse it. It's
slightly different.
Yeah, I get it. Destination. I'm gonna make this into a thing. Is that cool?
Yeah, everything's better when you do that. Wait. Oh, yes. We don't need this for the. This isn't a function that gets passed to the map editor, so it's okay.
Oh yeah. Params. Everything is better with curly braces. Now we have a source, back to, and we have a mode. The reason why I don't like right-click mode is it doesn't make sense to have a none, right? It's not technically the same thing.
True. Though you could define mode as the 3 types that aren't none. The builder could never receive none if we wanted to. Can you do an enum minus value?
We can do union type. We can do union type. Harvest. My autocomplete is dying right now. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm probably gonna go back and change this.
Yeah, it's gross. Make the build mode enum. You're right.
Okay. Where do we define the builder state?
That's a good question.
Well, it's this guy right here. There we go. Builder state, builder mode.
Mm-hmm.
I like how we didn't do the capital here.
Whoops.
Harvest. Build turret. Ooh.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We have mode here. Builder mode. Mode. Builder mode. That's that. Oh, good lord. Do we have to repeat this whole thing? Kind of do, right? Whatever.
Huh?
This is all params dot. This is now wrong place. Next.
Params. Just pass params in, right?
They're not quite named the same way, right? Unfortunately. Which is crappy, but let's worry about that later. Mode. That is good. Host is just params dot. All right. And then finally up here, this is destination. Source is what were we doing here? Oh, we're doing this, right? It's like this is the host path, and I think I want to put this in the right location, which is the first one, right? Path
doesn't exist yet.
It doesn't exist yet. Okay. Yeah. And this is where the early out maybe needs to happen, which probably shouldn't path find. Yeah. And let builder. Okay. Path vec2 or null. Oh, do we have a if path?
Right, because path could also fail.
Ugh. God.
I mean, just do if path return above this and call it a day.
Well, we can't.
If not path.
Because we need to simulate the rest of all this stuff down here.
Gosh. Yeah.
So basically, the early outs. This short circuit thing needs to happen in like const maybe spawn, right? And all this stuff, we just need to pull it in, right?
Yep.
And every friggin' time. Sorry, it's fine. Everything's fine. And then all this update.
Yeah, that is maybe spawn.
And we don't use this at all. Cool. Sweet. And then so now we can return, right?
There you go. Yep.
And in fact, we could just say if it's not up, or doesn't exist, or it is this, we return.
Oh man,
saving us.
You're about to unnest some stuff. Yes.
Yeah. This isn't the worst thing in the world, right?
It's silly how much I value my indent levels, though. I'm really happy when I get rid of some.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And more over the course of my career, I feel like I've become very aggressive about this kind of thing. And this doesn't need to be there anymore. Okay. And then do we use the player tile position up here? We don't, right? We use it down. Okay. Builder equals null. I mean, we probably don't even have to assign the builder here, right? We can just register. Because the inventory stuff happens on a per mode basis, right?
Yeah, but don't we need to modify the entity somehow?
We do, but we can set the entities.
Oh, you're about to move this into the builder. I
This
see.
stuff can go into the builder. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Hope that doesn't complain. And then if the mode is if params.mode is builder mode dot build turret e dot drop type equals pickup type dot core. Our names are so turret, core, pickup type, drop type. It's amazing.
Whoops.
Yeah, whatever. Build turret. Build turret. And then if we're worried about the repetition here, I can refactor that.
I certainly see an easier way, a nice cleanup, but I figure there might be other stuff that changes, so it's gonna ride it out.
Yeah, if you want to do like params equals most of this stuff, right?
Yep, I do.
All right, let's do it. I'm happy to do it. And then we do make or we can set the builder mode here. Right. Then actually, we can just have mode. And then what we can do is we can do the let. Can we just do let mode? Is that what complain about that?
I think if your switch statement is exhaustive and sets it, you're fine.
And then we just have this sort of silly little translation between right-click modes and builder modes. I don't hate it.
Nah.
I don't love it either, but and then that should do it, right? All this stuff, except for the splice, right? The inventory check needs to happen. I mean, this is where it's interesting, right? The inventory check needs to happen here. And then we should early out if you can't do it, right?
Yep.
If you can't do it, then you return. And if you can't do it, you remove it from the inventory and set the builder mode.
Nice. Yep.
And it's still not formatting. What does it hate? I am missing an open curly brace.
Boom.
Okay, so let's review what I just did. Okay, so maybe spawn gets the mouse position and then says if you're not clicking the right mouse button, or if the mouse is not even over the playfield, or if the right-click mode is to none, we don't need to do anything. Otherwise, we get the destination position, we get the player tile position, we get the path between those two things. And if no such path exists, we shouldn't spawn at all, we'll return. Now, we start to set up the builder. If the input mode is harvest mode, we set the builder mode to harvest. If the input mode is to build turret, we check the inventory to make sure that we have a core available. And if so, we remove the core and set the builder mode to build turret. Otherwise, we move the builder, right? And then we go ahead and register the builder with this stuff. Okay.
And you can move the path finding and all the params below the switch statement, and then we want path find if there's no core either.
Brilliant. I like it.
Yep.
Or do I love it? One of those things.
Nice.
All right. And then finally, we do something here, right? So this instead is a switch on e.builder. Bang. Oh, we've got it. Dot mode, right? And if the case is builder mode.harvest, currently we do nothing, right? That's what you do. Maybe next time. Case builder mode dot build turret, and this we can do
all that,
all of this stuff. Case builder mode dot move, do nothing.
Nice.
That looks pretty good. How is it? How do I have no syntax errors right now?
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Now, in the builder index, do we set the drop type?
Yeah, we do.
Great.
Right there.
That's the only one. Damn. Okay. Wait. What is e.transform.position supposed to be? Source.
Oh yes, equals
params.source.
Params.source. And we are copying at the call site, right? Is that right? Yes.
That's great.
This is good. This is like the paranoia version, right? The caller says, "I don't trust you to I don't trust you to deal with my stuff correctly, so I'm gonna clone." Right. All right. So, will it blend? Okay. So there's nothing in the inventory. I'm right-clicking. Nothing's happening. I'm going to pick something up. And there he goes. And he leaves it there. That is very cool. And if I go 3, he can go where he wants. And then harvest is the same thing, but there's not even a little preview because
damn, dude. Wait, pick up some more cores and make sure. Yeah,
we're not setting them back. Yeah.
We're not even subtracting.
I was holding down 3, now I'm holding down 1.
Yep. Damn, I love it.
And then let's make sure that we didn't. Yes, kill me. And he dropped the core. Wow, that is
good shit.
Yes, I like it too. I like it too, Dom. And amazingly, that brings us right to 9 o'clock. Isn't that incredible?
Good job. You really programmed down to the wire there. That's so cool, man. This thing is every week. I'm just really happy with the way these things interact.
Yeah, it's coming together, and then we can like this can be factored out to like an update single builder function. A lot of these continues can become early out returns.
We lost that.
Yeah, it's a dead thing. We could probably bring it back. I bet
maybe someday.
Yeah. Maybe
once we have single builder, like update single builder, we can give it a return value of here's the search space, and that would be a lot better.
Oh, you know what else we need is a builder inventory, because like you should only have n number of builders.
Yes, right. Yeah, so we can upgrade it. Max builders.
This game rules. This game is like on the verge of being like fun.
It's really close, right? Yeah.
We need cool guns, and we need to tune the hell out of the systems, but the capabilities are kind of getting there, right?
I would love to take a pass at the bullets and turn them into like pixel points with a circle, so they feel. I think that will feel better because it's weird right now.
Yeah, it feels a little weird, and then, man, multiplayer would immediately make this a viable game. But like that's like saying multiplayer makes Overwatch a viable game, you know?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Still though, it's great.
Yeah, and I really do think the earlier you get multiplayer in there, it's just like a really tall hill to climb. but then everything else is easier. And then it'll also mechanically help us tune the game if we had that capability. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's I think we should be looking at that maybe soon-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you hit the nail on the head last time, where it was like a lot of this stuff needs to become message passing as opposed to like direct. Like we need to be really clear about what is being rendered versus what is actually the source of truth. And that all sounds horrible.
Yep. Cool.
I mean, it's the whole webpage thing where you show the effect, but it hasn't actually happened yet, right?
Oh yeah, but man, so much more coordination. It's that, but on a much more complicated scale.
Agreed. All right, Dominic.
Cool.
Always a pleasure. This was really, really great.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it really is. And so I will see you possibly Sunday?
Definitely Sunday.
Definitely Sunday. All right, Sunday it's on.
Yeah. My weekends. No more weekend plans for Hot Minute Sunday.
Man, I wish we could go places. I wish a lot of things. I wish people weren't getting sick. That's what I wish.
I know. I'm not gonna say the thing that the bad person said because it's dumb. So people shouldn't get sick. You should go to the beach. Go tide pooling. I might go tide pooling on Saturday.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. It's outside. There's no people. There's a few people.
What if I go to a beach that you don't even like go jump into? Like I'll go to like Land's End or I'll go to like Sutro Baths or something like that. It'll be cold and I'll just be out there in the wind.
Yeah, you gotta go not Sutro Baths because people will be there. But otherwise,
okay. I've actually never been to Sutro Baths, but yeah, I take it.
Maybe you should go. It's cool.
Okay. Well, to the beach we all go, and then we'll see everybody on Sunday.
All right. See you Sunday, dude. Cheers.
All right, later.